This song is in open G tuning. In open G, all 6 strings are tuned to one of the 3 component notes of a G major triad. Those notes are G, B, and D. In standard tuning, those are the pitches of the 3rd, 2nd, and 4th strings, so they'll remain the same in open G. Both the 6th and 1st strings are tuned down a whole step from E to D. You can match that to the open 4th string, which is D. So the 1st string goes down a whole step, an octave above the open 4th string. The 6th string also goes down a whole step from E to D, but now it's an octave lower than the open 4th string. And the 5th string, which is normally tuned to A, goes down a whole step to G, which is an octave lower than the open 3rd string. When all 6 strings are played, you should get a lovely G major chord. Barring the index finger at any fret will produce another major chord with the root note located on the 5th string. Remember, the 5th string is tuned down a whole step from standard tuning. So barring at the 5th fret, normally the 5th fret of the 5th string is a D note, but now that it's a whole step lower, it's actually a C. So barring at the 5th fret produces a C major chord. This applies to any position on the fingerboard. So an open chord is a G chord, because it's an open G on the 5th string. The 5th fret would be a C chord. If you go up to the 9th fret, that would be an E chord. That's open G tuning. Enjoy. Brown Sugar may be the quintessential mid-period Stones song. By 1970, Keith Richards was well into using the open G tuning, and to me, the stony suspensions and resolutions never sounded as good as they do in this tom-tom-driven rocker. In Brown Sugar, Keith uses 2 forms of suspended chords. One is adding the 2nd and 3rd fingers on the 2nd and 4th strings of a straight bar chord. At the 5th fret C chord, these added fingers become either the 4th and 6th of a C chord, or else a 4 chord, spelled C-A-C-F. The other embellishment is the addition of the 3rd finger on the 3rd string, which becomes an add 9. At the 8th fret, an E flat chord, adding the 3rd finger 2 frets higher at the 10th fret of the 3rd string, becomes an E flat add 9. These are the 2 suspensions you'll need to play Brown Sugar. Let's try the intro riff as played by the first electric guitar. It starts with the 4 and 6 suspensions on a G chord up at the 12th fret. They quickly resolve to a bar G chord. Then move down to the 5th fret for a C chord. In your transcription, please note that the riff starts on beat 2. So 1, 2, ready, play. 1. 1. 1. 1. After 4 repetitions, at the end of measure 8, both electric guitars move up to the E flat at the 8th fret and add the add 9 suspension with the 3rd finger. Last repetition. Move down to the 5th fret for the C. So the E flat, you're adding the 9. At the C, you're adding the 4 and 6. Now go down to A flat, which is the 1st fret. Add the add 9. A flat. Now here, keep the suspension down on the B flat, which is at the 3rd fret, and then suspend it on the C. Again, that's E flat, adding the 9, C, adding the 4 and the 6, A flat, add 9. Begin with the 9 down on the B flat, See a transcription for this. During the intro, the second electric guitar plays a subtle little counterpoint. Please check your transcription for the tab. It's loud on the single notes and soft on the C chord. Comes in on beat 3. 1, 2, and then soft on the C chord. Vibrato. That's going against the being played by electric guitar 1. The verse begins at measure 17. Starts with the tonic C chord at the 5th fret, moves up to the 10th fret F chord with suspensions, back down to the C, down 2 frets to the B flat at the 3rd fret, and ending back where we started at the 5th fret C. That's the beginning of the chorus. So again, comes on the upbeat of beat 1 in the verse, which is measure 17 again. 1, 2, ready, play. The chorus starts in measure 29 with a 5 chord, an open G, and a little arpeggio and bluesy lick that takes us to the tonic C with suspensions. So open G chord, there's your arpeggio, your bluesy lick, The chorus ends with a reprise of the E-flat part of the progression that ended the intro and takes us back to the verse. This E-flat section is also the progression that's played during the saxophone solo. Remember the E-flat, adding the 9th suspension, A-flat, 1st fret, B-flat, C, E-flat, then we're back to the verse again. The outro, beginning at measure 69, is a repetition of the chorus G to C progression with some Chuck Berry-inspired licks from the second guitar. The first guitar does a variation of the G to C part without the arpeggio and the bluesy riff. It's just same rhythm up at C. Repeat. There's the suspensions. Now the second guitar, normally for that Chuck Berry style lick, you bar across like this, 3rd fret, but because your 1st string is tuned down a whole step, to get that perfect 4th, you need to play the 3rd and 5th frets together. Then up to the 8th fret for the C. The very last lick of the song comes in on the and of 1 in measure 73, and this time you do have the 7th there, barring straight across. And even though it looks like you're playing a major chord, you're getting the sound of a 7th chord, the B flat note on the top, because again, the first string is tuned down to D. Again, that's 1. Now let's try the full song.